Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Swampcast. Robbie Andrew of the Gainesville Sun, along with Pat Dooley of the Gainesville Sun. We are heading for, well, not right now, but we are going to be heading for Hoover, Alabama, which of course is a suburb of Birmingham, Alabama, where SEC Media Days are. Looking forward to it. It's the end of summer for us, Robbie.
The end of summer, the start of football season. People say summer's too long, but what do you know? It's gone, basically.
It lasted about 7 weeks, I think. So it wasn't too long for us, but it's fun that football's here, and we're looking forward to getting out there. Certainly a lot of stories, including the first day. The first guys that are there, the Florida Gators, including Tim Tebow. So I think it's going to be interesting to watch the media circus around not so much Nick Saban this year as it was last year, but more around Tim Tebow, the defending Heisman Trophy winner.
Everybody wants to talk to Tebow, fans, especially the media this time. This is an opportunity. They're going to jump all over him, and from the minute he walks in the door, he's going to be surrounded, and you're going to be in the group following him.
Hopefully, I'm going to try to stay with him.
You're tailing Tebow.
Yeah, boy, that's odd in itself.
You're going to get bumped out of the way.
He's right over. He's probably like 2 miles away from here. I could just go over there and see him.
But the only way to get him is to go to Birmingham.
I know. Isn't that amazing? You got to drive 7 hours.
Or the Philippines. You could have gone there and gotten him.
I could have circumcised some people there too. Well, we'll certainly be on top of that story, and as well as Urban Meyer, what he's got to say. And Phil Troutwine being the other one that they're bringing out there. I know that I talked to Urban the other night, Robbie, and he said that he was not going to bring Tebow, but the backlash would have just been enormous.
You've got to, because so many people want to talk to him, do stories on him. If you don't take him, people are going, well, why'd you give us this guy instead of Tebow? So they basically had to take him, and it's yet one more road trip this summer for Tebow, who's been all over the place.
Well, this will be the first time the defending Heisman winner has been at SEC Media Days. So, although, wait, Spurrier was a Heisman winner. He's been there.
He's been there a few times. He'll be there again this year.
Exactly. So we'll look forward to seeing him, and that's going to be interesting.
It always
all of a sudden this rumor circulated. I think it was an internet rumor that Spurrier,
that's a shock.
Yeah, I know. That Spurrier might be thinking about leaving South Carolina, and he put that to rest, not coincidentally, while he was having camp with a bunch of recruits in.
He'll leave one day. Never say forever.
Yep, not going to coach forever. No, 12 more years, that's it. So we'll see how all that takes place. But there's so many things we can, it's a potpourri for us going there because you've got so many great coaches, so many coaches that are interesting. I mean, Nick Saban year 2 is not as interesting as Nick Saban year 1. But by the way, you've got the defending national champion coach coming in.
And Bobby Petrino, who just bolted on the Falcons. He's a big-time story, too, and people are going to be all over him as well. So,
who's the coach that's the most under the radar there this week with the 12 coaches, do you think?
The guy that always is, maybe, Bobby Johnson.
The guy who looks just like Steve Martin. I mean,
if he puts the arrow in his head, maybe he'll get
He should put the arrow on his head and come out and go, hey.
A wild and crazy coach.
Yeah, but he is the guy most under the radar. I agree with you on that. But it'll be. Who do you think the coach that's going to have the biggest? We'll throw Saban out of it because those Alabama fans, you know what they're like. But who do you think is going to have the biggest following there?
I think maybe Tuberville's always going to have a huge following because it is in the state of Alabama. But I think he'd be the guy, really.
Well, it could be Urban too. I think there'll be a lot of people interested in Urban. And
he's one of those guys people want to talk to. You want to get opinions from this guy on a wide variety of things. And Spurrier was the same way when he was at Florida, and same at South Carolina. People want to know his opinion on a variety of different topics.
In the old days, it would be great when Spurrier was at Florida. He had a little more cockiness to him, and he'd be up there, and we would be saying, "Well, we're not going to write about him because we get him any time." And then all of a sudden, he'd say something. Well, you got to write about that. And he called the commissioner out in the back of the room. How come we don't have a playoff?
But when he was at Florida, Pat, and when he was getting ready to come in and address the media, there was a buzz in the whole room that he was coming. Everybody looked forward to seeing him.
Nobody missed him. I mean, nobody wanted to miss him. You didn't want to be out talking to somebody. And the guy that I like, and he gets missed a lot, is Sly Kroom. I like to listen to Sylvester Kroom at Mississippi State while he's talking in there because just a really interesting guy. I don't think they're going to be any good this year, but at the same time, he's fun to listen to.
And he's done a great job to get them to a bowl game. It's pretty remarkable. And he's a tough coach, tough disciplinarian. He's got them believing in him. We'll see where he can go from here after last year, but I don't know. I don't see the talent on that team.
Well, the guy who will probably be under the most on the radar that will get the most focus, though, is Mark Richt. And we were talking at lunch about that. The road to Atlanta to the SEC championship game is littered with teams with high expectations that didn't fulfill them. I don't know that. Maybe Alabama 2000 as far as the expectation level that Georgia's got.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, people have been talking them up since the Sugar Bowl game. Or actually, even after the Florida game last year.
Florida game, then they beat Auburn.
Yeah, look who's coming back, and then they beat Auburn. They killed Hawaii. So they're the team that people have got the target on their back.
Well, if you go on Gatorsports.com, you can see who Robbie and I have picked for our preseason All-SEC teams, which, of course, we'll be voting on when we get there. The coaches have made their selections. That's also on Gatorsports.com. And we'll also have our picks for who's going to win the division, East, West, who will be the overall champ. And we're not ESPN, so we don't necessarily say, you pick one team and I'll pick the other.
Yeah, we're just going to pick who we think. Wherever they fall, they fall.
We don't even consult with each other. In fact, we sit next to each other and we don't ever talk. It's unbelievable.
Never.
Yeah. Don't like them that much.
This is the only time we do talk.
That's right. This is it. Feel privileged for it. Well, that's going to do it. We're ready to go to Birmingham. I'm excited.
Sure, I am too.
We've had not a long summer, but certainly a lot of time off, and the Bob Dooley Invitational's in the books for another year, and we're looking forward to getting out there and filling up the pages of the Gainesville Sun and, of course, all the cyberspace with stories from SEC Media Days. Football season's almost here. You ready for it? Are you ready? I'm ready.
Here's a good bridge for you right here.
This is it. We'll see you next time. Until then, so long from the Sunshine State.